Hi, my name is Gunnar Walensky. I am 13 years old and I'm a New Albany 7th grader on A team. I enjoy all subjects in school. I compete in cross country, science Olympiad, and I'm a Boy Scout. I've enjoyed 3 of Mr. Korman's books: The Medusa Plot, One False Note, and The Emperor's Code. I will address these 5 questions in order in my video essay responding to those 3 books. 1. How has the author's books affected my school experience? 2. How did his books impact my life? 3. How did these books influence my perceptions on life? 4. What is my favorite book and how did it impact me? 5. Why are these authors' books worth reading? I love school in general, but when I have a break, I open his books and plunge right into a world of gadgets, spies, clues, escaping traps, and much more. Therefore, when I have free time, I can enjoy Gordon's writing. His books inform me about so many things like Mozart, the Chinese culture, and the mud angels from the Great Flood of Florence. Actually, I used my knowledge of these things to help me in school projects as well. I would have never known those things if it weren't for Gordon's books. After reading The Emperor's Code, I had a better understanding of the culture of the people who live in China and the Chinese immigrants who live here in Ohio. I have had conversations with people from that part of the world and have established friendships with them, and in part because I had the knowledge of their culture from Gordon's books. I believe that the main moral of One False Note is simply trust, because if you don't have anyone good to trust, then when you rely on them, they won't pull through. As I read the series, including Korman's books, I begin to realize that trust is essential, whether for a school project or marriage. And you need to limit your trust as well, because if someone is not trustworthy, then they could betray you, displayed in Korman's books. And I actually began to trust people differently after I read the series, including Korman's books, and it had positive outcomes. My favorite book was The Medusa Plot by far. I love the way that Gordon just set the stage for the rest of the second series of the 39 Clues. I was reading The Medusa Plot when Korman came to our school for an author visit. I remember him saying that there was a girl at another author visit that gave him the whole idea for his kidnap series. So as I was reading later on, I couldn't help but thinking that someone gave Mr. Korman ideas for that book. And that tells me as a reader that Mr. Korman is creative, determined, open-minded, and that impacted me in a way where I thought of authors in general and him indifferently in a good way. And the final question, why are his books worth reading? And I can definitely say that Mr. Korman entertains you all the way through his books. I learned a few facts about history, trusting others, and friendships, and it's great to meet somebody who writes for a living. It's cool that he loves his job and is creative while he works. And that's just what I want to do too when I'm an adult, and I want to be able to say that I love my job as well.